The silver spacecraft hovered silently above Earth's atmosphere, its metallic surface reflecting the blue planet below. Inside, senior researcher Han stared at his monitoring equipment with wide eyes. The readings couldn't be right. He triple-checked the instruments, then called for his superior. "Director Kim, you need to see this," Han said, pointing at the screen. "These readings suggest intelligent life forms on this planet." Director Kim adjusted her specialized viewing lens and frowned. "That's impossible. Our surveys classified this as a Class 5 death planet. Nothing advanced should exist here." Yet the evidence was undeniable. The blue planet below them, third from its yellow star, showed signs of sprawling cities, artificial satellites, and radio transmissions, all hallmarks of an advanced civilization. "The radiation levels alone should prevent complex life," Han said, scrolling through the data. "Not to mention the gravity, atmospheric composition, and presence of predatory species. This planet has everything that kills life elsewhere in the galaxy." Director Kim assembled the survey team in the main observation deck. The large viewing window showed Earth in all its blue and green glory, clouds swirling across its surface. The 12-member crew, representing different species from across the galaxy, gathered around the holographic display showing the planet's readings. "We've discovered something extraordinary," Director Kim announced. "A sentient species that not only survives but thrives in conditions we consider lethal." Officer Park, the team's xenobiologist, scrolled through the biological readings. "They breathe oxygen, a highly corrosive gas. Their bodies contain water, one of the most reactive solvents in the universe. They're exposed to constant radiation from their star, and their own bodies produce countless bacteria and viruses." "How do they survive?" asked Technician Sung, his forearms manipulating the control panel to zoom in on a human settlement. "They don't just survive," Park replied. "They evolved because of these conditions, not despite them. Their cellular structure is unlike anything we've seen. They have natural radiation resistance, immune systems that fight microscopic invaders, and digestive systems that can break down substances toxic to most galactic species." The team watched in fascination as their cameras zoomed in on a coastal city. Humans moved about their daily lives, completely unaware they were being observed. Children played in parks under direct sunlight. Adults consumed food in outdoor restaurants. Some swam in the ocean, an act that would dissolve the protective membranes of most alien species. "They've built their civilization on a planet that would kill any of us within minutes without our protective suits," Director Kim said. "It defies everything we understand about habitable conditions." Han focused the sensors on a group of humans having a picnic. "Look at them eating. They're ingesting capsaicin, caffeine, and ethanol, all compounds we use as industrial solvents or weapon components in our world. And they're doing it for pleasure." The observation continued for 3 Earth days. The alien researchers cataloged human activities, their technology, and their biology. They were particularly fascinated by humans' ability to withstand temperature, variations that would be fatal to most galactic species. "They live in regions where temperatures swing between freezing and boiling," noted Security Officer Lee. "Some of them even seek out extreme temperatures for recreation. They sit in heated rooms or swim in icy water voluntarily." As they prepared their report for the Galactic Survey Corps headquarters, the team debated whether to make contact. The discovery of a species that could thrive in such deadly conditions would revolutionize galactic understanding of life itself. "We should observe longer," suggested Communications Specialist G. "We need to understand their social structures and determine if they pose any threat." "Threat?" Director Kim laughed. "If they can survive on this planet, they could potentially survive anywhere in the galaxy. That makes them either the most dangerous species we've encountered or the most valuable allies." Their deliberation was interrupted by an alert from the ship's detection system. Earth's primitive but functional tracking systems had detected their vessel despite its advanced cloaking technology. "They've spotted us," Han announced, showing the incoming data. "Their astronomical instruments have locked onto our position. Several of their governments are analyzing our vessel's signature." Director Kim made a quick decision. "Prepare a first contact protocol. If they've seen us, We need to control how this unfolds. As the team prepared for humanity's first encounter with alien life, they couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were about to meet the only known species in the galaxy that considered a death world their comfortable home. One thing's certain, Director Kim said as they finalized their approach plan. The galaxy will never be the same after today. These humans aren't just survivors. They're the toughest sentient beings we've ever discovered. The team watched as their ship descended toward Earth, ready to meet the remarkable species that had accomplished what the rest of the galaxy thought impossible, turning the deadliest planet into their thriving home. The gleaming research station hung silently among the asteroids, its curved metallic walls designed to appear as just another space rock to Earth's telescopes. Inside, Science Officer Park paced the circular command center, reviewing the latest data streams flowing across the holographic displays. 6 months of observation, Park said, addressing the assembled research team, and I still can't believe what we're seeing. Commander Lee nodded in agreement. When headquarters approved this mission, many thought we were wasting resources. No one believed intelligent life could evolve on such a hostile planet. The research team had been carefully selected from across the galaxy, 12 specialists with experience studying extreme environments. They represented the most resilient species known to galactic science, yet even they couldn't venture onto Earth's surface without their protective suits. Today's focus is human adaptation to temperature, Park announced, bringing up new images on the main screen. These humans are in a region they call Finland, where temperatures have dropped below freezing. The team watched in amazement as the screen showed humans cutting holes in frozen lakes and willingly submerging themselves in the icy water. They're doing this voluntarily, explained biologist Kang, checking the readings. Their bodies should be going into shock, but they appear to be enjoying it. Then afterwards, they go into small wooden rooms heated to temperatures that would cook most galactic species. Their temperature regulation is unlike anything we've documented, added physiologist Min, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence as she studied the data. Most creatures in the galaxy can tolerate temperature variations of perhaps 20 degrees. Humans can survive in environments ranging from -40 to +50 degrees. Commander Lee tapped his console, changing the display to another. Scene: humans climbing a massive mountain peak. This is equally baffling, he said. They're deliberately ascending to altitudes where oxygen levels drop to what we consider lethal. And they do this without breathing equipment until the very highest elevations. The research station had been designed for long-term observation, equipped with the most advanced sensors in the galaxy. The team had deployed thousands of microscopic drones across Earth's surface, each no larger than an insect transmitting data back to the hidden base. The atmospheric composition should be toxic, said environmental specialist Yoon, reviewing the chemical analysis. Oxygen at these levels causes rapid oxidation in most species. We use it as a sterilizing agent. Yet humans evolved to not just tolerate it but require it. What about their immune responses? Park asked, turning to the medical team. Dr. Jin brought up microscopic imagery showing human cellular structures. It's revolutionary. Their bodies are constantly at war with microorganisms. They have billions of bacteria living inside them at all times, yet they've developed an immune system that distinguishes between helpful and harmful invaders. No wonder the Galactic Council has tripled our research budget, Commander Lee remarked. What these humans take for granted could revolutionize medicine across the galaxy. The team's most surprising discoveries came from studying human diet. Nutritionist Cho had been analyzing food consumption patterns across different cultures. They deliberately consume compounds that would be considered poisons elsewhere, Cho explained, displaying images of humans eating various foods. This spice they call chili contains capsaicin, a neurological agent we use in defensive weapons. They add it to food for pleasure. And this beverage, he continued, showing people drinking coffee, contains caffeine, which we use as an industrial pesticide. They consume it daily to increase alertness. Even more shocking was human water consumption. Most galactic species came from worlds where water was a scarce, specialized compound, used sparingly in controlled environments. Earth was covered in it. They require 2 to 4 liters of water daily, hydrologist Song reported, Their bodies are primarily composed of water, the most reactive solvent known in the galaxy. Any other species with this composition would dissolve from the inside. As fascinating as the physical adaptations were, the team was equally interested in human psychological resilience. Psychologist Bay had been studying behavior patterns through the drone network. Their capacity for adaptation extends beyond the physical, Bay noted. Humans live in environments ranging from Arctic tundra to scorching deserts, from mountains to underwater habitats. They've settled practically every ecosystem on their planet. More impressive, she added, is their response to adversity. When faced with disasters that destroy their homes, they rebuild. When confronted with diseases, they develop medicines. Their resilience isn't just biological, it's ingrained in their psychology. The research team had another year scheduled for observation before they would make contact recommendations to the Galactic Council. But as they reviewed their findings from the first 6 months, many were already convinced that humans represented something unique in the galaxy. The initial classification of Earth as a death world was accurate from our perspective, Commander Lee said as the meeting concluded. But for humans, these deadly conditions created the perfect evolutionary pressures to produce an exceptionally adaptable species. If they can survive here, Park added, looking at the blue planet visible through the observation window, they might be able to survive anywhere. That makes them either the most dangerous species we've ever discovered, or the most valuable allies, Lee finished. Either way, the galaxy isn't ready for humans. As the team dispersed to continue their research, none of them realized that their carefully hidden station had generated a faint energy signature during a recent solar flare. Signature that had been detected by an amateur astronomer in New Zealand. The clock was ticking toward first contact, far sooner than any of them had planned. Biologist Choi stood frozen in disbelief, staring at the holographic display floating before her. The data couldn't be right. She ran the analysis again, watching as the computer compared Earth's environmental conditions against the galactic database of habitable worlds. "This can't be correct," she whispered, calling over her shoulder. "Could someone check my findings?" Senior researcher Jun approached, his protective suit making soft whirring sounds as he moved. The entire research team had been working tirelessly for months, but this discovery demanded immediate attention. "What have you found?" Jun asked, adjusting his viewing lens to examine the data. "Earth isn't just moderately dangerous," Choi explained, pointing to the flashing indicators. "According to our most comprehensive planetary classification system, it ranks as a Class 5 death world, the highest possible danger rating." The news spread quickly through the research station. Within an hour, the entire team had gathered in the central chamber, their faces illuminated by the glow of Earth projected in the center of the room. "Let me make sure I understand this correctly," said Commander Huang, her voice cutting through the murmurs. "Humans don't just survive in harsh conditions. They evolved on a planet that our civilization officially classifies as uninhabitable?" Choi nodded. "The galactic database contains records of over 8 million planets. Only 23 are classified as Class 5 death worlds. Earth is the only one with intelligent life." "But that's impossible," protested Engineer Park. "Nothing should evolve past simple organisms in such conditions." "Yet here they are," replied Choi, zooming the display to show a busy city street. 7 billion humans, building civilizations on a planet that would kill any of us within minutes, without our protective technology. The revelation forced the team to reconsider everything they thought they knew about life's requirements. They had been studying humans with scientific curiosity, but now they looked upon them with something closer to awe. "Let's review what makes Earth so deadly by galactic standards," suggested researcher Kim, bringing up a new display. "First, there's the oxygen-rich atmosphere." The screen showed the atmospheric composition: 21% oxygen, a highly reactive gas that would cause rapid oxidation in most galactic species. Oxygen at these levels is used as a sterilizing agent in most advanced civilizations, Kim continued, yet humans evolved to require it. "Then there's the radiation," added Safety Officer Yoon. "Their planet receives constant bombardment from their star, with only a thin magnetic field for protection. The background radiation levels alone would cause cellular damage to most species within days. The list continued. Earth's heavy gravity, which would crush the bodies of species from lighter worlds. The constant microbial warfare happening at scales too small to see. The presence of large predators throughout the planet's evolutionary history. The extreme temperature variations from poles to equator. Even their water is remarkable, noted hydrologist Shin. Most habitable worlds have trace amounts of water or chemically neutral versions. Earth is covered in chemically active H2O, one of the most effective solvents in the universe. It should dissolve organic matter, not support it. As the team processed these revelations, anthropologist Cho brought up footage of humans engaged in recreational activities. The screen showed people climbing sheer mountain faces, diving into deep ocean waters, racing vehicles at high speeds, and even jumping from aircraft for entertainment. They don't just survive in these conditions, Cho observed. They seek out even greater challenges. They deliberately expose themselves to additional danger for pleasure or personal growth. The psychological implications are staggering, added behavior specialist Lee. Most intelligent species evolved in protected environments, developing technology to venture into harsher regions only after achieving civilization. Humans evolved under constant threat, making adaptation and risk-taking fundamental to their psychology. The most stunning revelation came when geneticist Kang completed her analysis of human DNA. Their genetic code contains remarkable repair mechanisms, she explained, displaying the complex molecular structures. When exposed to radiation, toxins, or physical trauma, their cells can often repair themselves. They've evolved not just to survive Earth's conditions, but to heal from the damage those conditions cause. Commander Huang considered the implications. If humans can survive on a Class 5 death world, they could potentially adapt to any environment in the galaxy. No other known species has this level of biological resilience. It explains why they've spread across their entire planet, added geographer Jin. From Arctic regions to deserts, from mountains to ocean depths, humans have established communities and ecosystems that would each kill different galactic species. The team worked through the night, re-examining months of research in light of this new understanding. By morning, they had drafted an urgent message to the Galactic Council, recommending an immediate revision of contact protocols. We can't approach humans as we would other emerging civilizations, Huang explained as they finalized the report. They aren't fragile beings needing protection from the harsh realities of space. They evolved in conditions that would constitute worst-case survival scenarios for us. In many ways, Choi added quietly, they're stronger than we are. The team gazed at the view screen showing Earth rotating peacefully against the blackness of space. The blue planet that had seemed so hostile now represented something else. A crucible that had forged potentially the toughest intelligent species in the known galaxy. When we eventually make contact, said Huang, we should remember this moment. We thought we were studying simple survivors on a dangerous world. Instead, we've discovered a species that turned conditions we consider lethal into their normal environment. The galaxy isn't ready for humans. None of them realized that eventually would come much sooner than planned, as below them on Earth a university observatory had just photographed their supposedly hidden research station, illuminated by the light of the rising sun. The warning alarms blared throughout the hidden station, red lights flashing in urgent pulses. Ambassador Song rushed to the command center where technicians worked frantically at their stations. What's happening? Song demanded, her translator device converting her words into the station's common language. Solar flare, Ambassador, replied Chief Engineer June, his fingers dancing across the holographic controls. A massive one. It's overloaded our cloaking systems. On the main view screen, a massive eruption of plasma billowed from the sun, sending waves of radiation and charged particles across the solar system. The station's shields were holding, but the delicate cloaking technology that had kept them hidden for months had failed catastrophically. How bad is the exposure? Song asked, her voice steady despite the crisis. Communications Officer Jin looked up from her console, her expression grave. Complete, Ambassador. Our entire station is visible to Earth's detection systems. We're receiving Radio transmissions from multiple Earth governments, they're asking who we are. The moment they had carefully planned for, the first official contact between their galactic civilization and humanity, was now being forced upon them in the worst possible way. Rather than a carefully orchestrated diplomatic mission, they were exposed, vulnerable, their hidden observation post revealed as an orbital spy facility. "We need to act quickly," Song said. "Prepare the diplomatic shuttle. I'll lead the contact team personally." The decision was controversial. Protocol dictated that first contact should occur only after years of observation and preparation. But with their cover blown, the alternative was to flee, which would likely trigger fear and possibly military response from the humans. Within hours, Ambassador Song and a small team of diplomats were aboard their shuttle, descending through Earth's atmosphere. They had chosen a neutral location for the meeting, a United Nations facility in Geneva, Switzerland. Earth governments had been communicating continuously since the station's discovery, their messages evolving from confused queries to formal diplomatic invitations. As the shuttle broke through the cloud cover, Song gazed out at the landscape below. Lakes and mountains came into view, then cities and roads, all built by beings who had evolved on a world that should have been uninhabitable. The shuttle's environmental systems worked overtime, creating a bubble of breathable atmosphere for the delegation inside their protective suits. "Remember," Song instructed her team, "do not remove your environmental protection under any circumstances. Earth's atmosphere would cause immediate respiratory distress and tissue damage." The shuttle landed on a designated pad, where a delegation of human officials waited at a respectful distance. Camera crews recorded the historic moment, broadcasting it to billions of humans worldwide. Song was the first to emerge, her protective suit gleaming in the sunlight. It was sleek and advanced by human standards, but to her people it was simple survival equipment, the only thing standing between them and the lethal conditions of Earth. A human official stepped forward, a woman in a blue suit who introduced herself as the Secretary General of the United Nations. "On behalf of humanity, I welcome you to Earth," Song's translator converted her reply. "We thank you for your hospitality and apologize for our unannounced presence. We are representatives of the Galactic Survey Corps, a coalition of civilizations dedicated to peaceful exploration." The initial meeting was moved indoors to accommodate the alien delegation's needs. The conference room had been specially prepared with seats designed to support their different physiologies. Human representatives from major nations sat across the table, their expressions a mixture of awe, curiosity, and cautious diplomacy. "We have been observing Earth for several months," Song explained. "It is our standard protocol to study emerging spacefaring civilizations before making contact." "Emerging?" asked one of the human representatives. "We've barely left our own solar system." "But you will," Song replied. "Your technology is advancing rapidly. Within a century, you'll likely develop faster than light travel. We prefer to establish relations before that occurs." As the diplomatic discussions continued, something unexpected happened. A human server entered, carrying trays of refreshments for the Earth delegation. The aliens watched in fascination as humans casually consumed substances that would be lethal to most galactic species. "Is that caffeine?" asked Science Officer Hyun, pointing to the dark liquid in cups. "Coffee," confirmed one of the human diplomats. "Would you like to try some?" "Your offer is kind," Song replied quickly, "but it would dissolve our digestive systems. What you consider a mild stimulant is classified as a toxic substance in our biochemistry." The human diplomats exchanged glances, suddenly realizing the profound differences between their biologies. What followed was an impromptu science discussion that overshadowed the formal diplomatic agenda. "Your atmosphere contains oxygen levels that would cause cellular combustion in our bodies," explained Medical Officer Tae. "Your water would dissolve our protective membranes. Your background radiation levels exceed our safety standards by a factor of 10. "Then how are you able to be here at all?" asked a human scientist who had been called in to join the discussion. "Advanced protective technology," Tae replied. "Without these suits, Earth would kill us within minutes." The humans were visibly processing this information, their expressions shifting from confusion to dawning comprehension. "Are you saying," the Secretary General asked slowly, "that you find our planet deadly? By the standards of most intelligent life in the galaxy, Earth is classified as a Class 5 death world," Song confirmed. "You are the only known species to evolve advanced intelligence on such a planet." The revelation stunned the human delegation. All their lives they had thought of Earth as a nurturing cradle of life, their perfect home in the cosmos. Now they were being told that their beloved planet was considered a deadly hellscape by the standards of galactic life. "This changes everything about how we view ourselves," said one human diplomat quietly. "It should," Song agreed. "You are not just another species joining the galactic community. You are something we have never encountered before, beings who thrive in conditions that would kill most other intelligent life. Your potential for adaptation makes you uniquely valuable." As the historic first meeting continued into the evening, the aliens observed with fascination as their human hosts continued to casually exist in conditions that required the most advanced protective technology for visitors to survive. Every breath the humans took, every sip of water, every moment under Earth's radiation, acts of existence that would be fatal to most galactic species, were performed without thought or effort. "We came to study you," Ambassador Song admitted as the YAO meeting concluded. "Now we find ourselves wondering what you might teach us about resilience and adaptation. Perhaps Earth isn't just a death world after all. Perhaps it's a crucible that has forged something extraordinary." The massive circular chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Council Member Ju approached the central platform. The curved walls displayed images of Earth rotating slowly, blue oceans and swirling white clouds appearing peaceful despite what they now understood about the planet's deadly nature. "Esteemed colleagues," Ju began, her voice carrying to all 400 representatives from across the galaxy. 6 months have passed since our first official contact with humans. Today, we must formally reconsider Earth's classification. The chamber's lighting shifted to accommodate the various visual sensitivities of the assembled species. Some required near darkness, others intense light. All had evolved on worlds far gentler than Earth. For 12,000 years, our civilization has classified planets according to their habitability, Ju continued. Earth has been designated a Class 5 death world since our first automated probes discovered it centuries ago. This classification is technically accurate. Earth would indeed kill most of us within minutes without protective technology. She gestured, and the display changed to show humans engaged in everyday activities. Children playing in parks, farmers tending fields under direct sunlight, swimmers diving into oceans filled with reactive H2O. But this classification fails to capture a profound truth. What is deadly to us has proven to be the perfect crucible for evolving extraordinary adaptability. I propose a new designation, Crucible World, a planet where extreme conditions forge exceptional life. The proposal sparked immediate debate. Council chambers rarely saw classification systems changed. Some representatives expressed concern that creating a new category for a single planet seemed excessive. "Is one species, however remarkable, worth rewriting our scientific framework?" asked Representative Hayek from a methane-based civilization. "It is when that species can do what none of us can," replied Ju. "Humans don't just survive on Earth, they thrive there, and their adaptability suggests they could potentially thrive elsewhere too, including environments that challenge even our most advanced environmental technology." Meanwhile, on the far side of the solar system, that adaptability was being put to the test. The Galactic Embassy established on Earth's moon housed the first human ambassadors to join an interstellar expedition. The massive ship in orbit was preparing for a journey to a distant system where a planet with unusual atmospheric conditions had stymied exploration efforts. Inside the lunar base, expedition leader Sung watched the human recruits during their final training exercises. Unlike the alien staff who required complex protective gear just to function in the base's carefully calibrated environment, the humans moved comfortably in simple spacesuits. "Their adaptability continues to astonish me," Sung remarked to his assistant. They acclimatized to lunar gravity in days rather than weeks. Their bodies compensated for radiation exposure far faster than our simulations predicted. Their psychological resilience is equally impressive, his assistant replied. They approach dangerous unknowns with curiosity rather than fear. It's as if evolution on a death world has programmed them to see challenges as opportunities. On Earth itself, integration between the two civilizations progressed carefully. The Galactic Science Academy had established research outposts in remote locations, always inside controlled environments that mimicked the atmospheres of their home worlds. Human scientists worked alongside alien researchers, both sides learning from each other's unique perspectives. At one such facility in the Himalayan mountains, Director Park supervised a breakthrough project. Human biochemists had helped develop a new type of protective suit that would allow galactic visitors to experience Earth's environment with far less technology than before. The prototype reduces weight by 70% while improving oxygen filtration, explained the lead human scientist. It won't let you swim in our oceans yet, but you could walk through a forest or sit in a garden. Director Park nodded appreciatively. You've accomplished in months what our engineers couldn't in years. Your intuitive understanding of how to survive in hostile conditions gives you a perspective we lack. This collaboration extended beyond Earth. The first joint human-galactic expedition had reached Mars, where humans demonstrated their remarkable ability to adapt to the planet's conditions. While still requiring basic life support, they needed far less protection than their alien counterparts. They're already discussing terraforming, reported Mission Commander Jin during her update to the Council. What would take our civilization centuries to accomplish, they believe they can achieve in decades. Their experience transforming hostile environments on Earth gives them confidence we find almost reckless, yet their track record suggests they might succeed. Back in the Council chamber, the debate over Earth's reclassification had reached its conclusion. The vote was displayed on the central hologram, an overwhelming majority in favor of creating the new Crucible World category. It is decided, announced the Council Elder. Earth is officially redesignated as the first known Crucible World. Let the archives reflect this change, and let our approach to humanity be guided by this new understanding. Councilmember Ju felt a sense of profound satisfaction as she left the chamber. What had begun as a routine survey mission had transformed their understanding of life's potential. Humans weren't just another intelligent species joining the galactic community. They represented an entirely new paradigm of what intelligent life could become when forged in extreme conditions. On a view screen near the chamber exit, she paused to watch a live transmission from the joint exploration vessel, now heading toward the outer solar system. Human crew members worked alongside alien specialists, their easy comfort in the ship's environment a constant reminder of their unique heritage. They evolved on a planet that would kill most of us instantly, mused a fellow council member who had joined her. Now they're helping us explore worlds we could never visit alone. That's the greatest lesson humanity has taught us, Ju replied. What we feared as deadly and avoided as dangerous, they embraced as home. They remind us that adversity doesn't just test life. It can create extraordinary strength. As the transmission showed the ship accelerating toward distant stars, Ju reflected on how dramatically one discovery had changed their civilization's perspective. For thousands of years, they had avoided death worlds as places where advanced life couldn't possibly thrive. Now they understood that the harshest environments might produce the most remarkable life forms, species with the resilience and adaptability to help them explore the most challenging corners of the universe. The galaxy had never seemed larger or more full of possibility.